Hello YouTube subscribers, today or tonight whenever you're watching this, I am doing another horror movie review. Now, I will say, I will get this out of the way. I know it's been a few weeks. I didn't post anything Monday. I didn't post anything basically Thursday for 2-3 weeks in a row. I know that's bad of me. I'm very sorry to all of you, all of my subscribers. I know I promised you 2 or 3 videos a week. Depends on if the if like Mondays and Thursdays would be movie reviews. And maybe the third video review would be like an item that I found out and about. Or sometimes it would just be 2 videos a week. Yesterday I did a review on my Tiffany doll that I gladly finally gotten through the mail this past Monday. So I did a review on her. That's basically my first video of this week coming back to YouTube. Once again, I'm very sorry to all my subscribers, but I hope you guys enjoyed that video. But today's video, I am doing a horror movie review, and if you guys could tell by the title, it's the first Terrifier movie. Now, before I get into the first Terrifier movie, I will have to say, before you, okay, if you just want to know, if you just want to jump into the first Terrifier movie, hey, that's fine, but that's not really so interesting, like me. I just now rewatched the first Terrifier movie, and to me, in the beginning, it wasn't that interesting by just jumping into the first Terrifier, because even though I already know the character and I basically seen the first 2 movies, that at first wasn't that important, but now it is. Well, at least one of them. But the second one is still fun to watch. Because my friend at work, when I went back to work, and when me and my friend started talking about horror movies and started to bond a little bit more, especially during especially with horror movies, he introduced me to Art the Clown. He asked me if I knew who this horror character was, because basically all I knew was the classic, original, well-known characters. Well, he basically knew some originals that I didn't know about, that was basically hush hush, quiet, never talked about again, that I basically have props of one of them, which is Leslie Vernon, Behind the Mask, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which Leslie Vernon I got into very quickly. American Psycho I got into very quickly. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, it took me a very long time to get into. No joke. But I got into it. I can enjoy for what it can be, for what it is, for what it can be. But the most important horror character he really wanted me to watch, to learn about, is Art the Clown. And I'm like, who's Art the Clown? And he's like, you don't really have to, but you could start with The Ninth Circle, which is basically a movie that basically kind of started it all, and then Hallows Eve, which was the second step to help start it all, and then the very first Terrifier, which the Ninth Circle, that's about the creator slash director of Terrifier made a movie called The Ninth Circle, and it was basically a test run of basically a movie test run to get audiences' attention and to know what character would be so interesting. What character would be fun to make a solo horror movie on. Which was smart. I mean, it could have been dumb, but it was also it was kind of dumb, but also smart, kind of smart, because he didn't really want to just jump into one character and end up failing when that could have ended up being his failure anyway. But it was smart, because it really got what he wanted at the end, which is A, audiences' attention, B, know what audiences wanted to see more out of that movie, which the Ninth Gate is basically a bunch of random scary characters. The devil, the Lightbringer, aka Lucifer, aka Satan, aka the devil. That character shows up at the very end of the movie by impregnating a woman that Art the Clown steals for him, so he could impregnate her. Which we see a part in that movie, like a very small clip, and we never see Art the Clown again. Which he didn't really have Art the Clown name until the Terrifier movies. Basically, the woman was sitting in a subway station, and she was waiting for her train in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, here appears a man, a perfect kind of fit, like thin fit, but not like too buff fit, and not too chubby, but like deep, thin, kind of man that basically doesn't speak. That if he laughs, you don't hear him laughing, but you can tell that he's laughing because he is laughing. If he's shocked, he doesn't gasp. He just looks shocked. He's basically it basically sets right there everything that you need to know about Art the Clown. Is that he's a clown for sure, but he's also a mime slash clown slash mime, whatever you want to go with. Because he's dressed like a clown, black and white, colored clown, black and white makeup, small hat with the rubber band around him, and a little clown hoodie. And at first, he annoys the woman by looking at her, honking his horn, and then he hands her flowers as apologize. And then once he knocks her out, I can't remember how, but all of a sudden you see his face turn from a kind of chubby face to a complete circle round face with circle glowing eyes. That was like a yellowish white light. But you get to see other creatures, and that you basically learn are demons, and that you learn once you get to the end were demons because they were all the victims that they got was to send off to Lucifer, and that's so he could kill them, slave them, or impregnate them. Skipping and then jumping from the ninth gate. Ninth gate. I don't know why I keep calling it the ninth gate. The ninth circle. You jumping into Hallows Eve, which that's when the creator knew that by still test run, like it was still of a test run, but not complete, but he knew what character fans really wanted to see, or at least followers that he had wanted to see more, which was Art the Clown. Which when he did Hallows Eve, he still didn't have a name yet, but Hallows Eve was basically about two kids got home from Halloween. Their parents went off to a party or something, and then a babysitter was watching them, and all of a sudden this kid found that VH VSH tape, basically a tape, in his candy bag, and watch it, and on the tape was all these random stories of Art the Clown going from person to person, hard fighting, like terribly mutilating these victims in the story during the tape, and then which at the end of the halfway through, the babysitter had the kids go to sleep. Which the brother and sister was scared, so they kind of jump into the same bed to make themselves more comfortable, to kind of protect each other, type feeling. But the babysitter finished the tape. She got creeped out because she noticed that Art the Clown saw her watching the tape, and she noticed that she was getting filmed as well, being part of the tape. So she got freaked out, turned off the tape, broke the tape, and then all of a sudden she hears the kids scream. She sees the kids' heads just sitting on the bed. The kids are dead because they were decapitated. And then she sees Art the Clown. We see Art the Clown laughing, and then it cuts off from there into what is it called? Break the fourth wall type scene where we see Art the Clown go from corner to corner, looking at the screen, looking at us, the audience, creeping us out, waving at us, smiling at us, turning his head, walking towards the screen, making us feel like he's gonna walk out of the screen like the Ring Girl, like Samora, and attack us. And then the movie ends. Now jumping into Terrifier, the very first Terrifier, which in the ninth circle was originally first played by somebody else. I think once he did Hallows Eve, I think the director changed it to this. I think it's the same actor that did do Hallows Eve, because I think by then it was the same bone structure as the Terrifier movies, but I can't really remember. Hang on. Okay. From the ninth circle to Hallows Eve, those first two movies, that was a practice / kickoff to Art the Clown, was played by two different actors. Once the director got to Terrifier, the Terrifier movies, that's when he actually chose the real actor that we all grown to love and known as as Art the Clown, with the creepy bone structure and stuff. Now on to Terrifier. Terrifier, like I said, if you skip the first two movies, that you really don't know what the director's like the Ninth Circle. If you don't know what the director is going with, but you know it's a bunch of random stories with a bunch of random characters, that's cool. Hallows Eve, that's when you know it's kind of like a part 2 kickoff type thing with Art the Clown. Then you know what character he's trying to go with, but still seen. And you already knew what you're getting yourself into and kind of who he is. With Terrifier, if you just jump into Terrifier, as I said earlier, you will just feel like you're just getting yourself into another slasher movie in the beginning of the movie. That's just like a normal Freddy, Michael, all the classics slasher movie. See, because once it starts, well, kind of when it starts, like once it starts getting into Art the Clown himself, getting ready for Halloween night, getting himself ready, getting his clown suit and his makeup on, all his weapons, and a garbage bag, because all through the movie he kind of carries around a garbage bag, a black garbage bag. That's when you know, okay, you're kind of getting a Nightmare on Elm Street type of vibes. Most of his creepy walking is kind of like Michael, his staring, but his smile, his creepy clown smile, that's kind of like The Man Who Laughs, or The Man Who's, yeah, I think it was called The Man Who Laughs, type thing. A creepy smile, wide smile. You kind of get that type of vibes. But but once more further into the Terrifier movie, kind of like in the more very beginning, you know that this is not going to be this is kind of not going to be a normal slasher movie, because who you actually think is going to be, I mean, sure, I mean, the cover, it's pretty obvious that who's the actual slasher in the movie, but in the very beginning, it shows a girl being all deformed and getting on her interview, and and the woman that's interviewing her later on, basically on the phone with her husband, being creeped out by her, for like she was gonna get attacked by her. If she ever gets that way, just take her out, and basically she hopes that she never has to do it again. Well, and then as the girl, after she just reviewed the girl, she noticed she gets attacked by that basically the woman deforms her in a very messed up way, kind of. Like you already knew, like, how she's doing it. You already feel like we've seen it before, but after she does it, and the way as she's mutilated, it feels like you haven't seen that type of state before. Then jumping into the kills. Okay, most of the kills we've seen before, like, he's playing with his victims. Okay, that's like a normal slasher type thing. He's playing with his victims. But you gotta understand that, that's who he is. That's Art the Clown. He doesn't play with his victims then kills them right away. He takes his time. Like Freddy, sure, I mean, he plays around with his victims, but not as much as Art the Clown does. He takes his time. He has fun. He basically has a playmate until he's ready, until he's actually sure he knows how he wants to kill them, how he wants to torture them, and basically if he's hungry or not. Because he's a cannibal, as you will see. And he uses the most messed up things most of the time. Like one of the most rememberable kills throughout the first movie is basically him basically hanging up a girl, a blonde, slutty girl that you basically already know, that you're basically kind of following as one of your main characters. That you know, okay, well, classic horror trope. We got the slutty bitch. She's gonna probably be the first one to die. Oh, wait, no, wait. The news lady was the first one to die, even though she was still breathing in the beginning. You know, at some point she died. But here's the blonde. And then but Art the Clown had her hanged up by her ankles, crossed, basically, having her legs spread apart, and had her friend basically taped to a chair, because how we first meet these two girls is that the blonde was drunk. The friend wanted to drive, but she didn't feel good either. So the friend noticed the clown stop and looking at her. He kind of, because we first, which randomly classic horror trope. Here comes a horror character, gonna see his two first victims of the night, and the one he's gonna be most connected to, and that we feel like it's gonna be the survivor girl at the end, and she gets creeped out. They go get pizza. He disappears. Then they go get pizza to kind of help the girl to more drive better, and then here comes Art the Clown back into her life, basically walking into the pizza that she's in, and then also which right away we don't see what he does in the bathroom, but he walks in after he kind of annoys her, and after the blonde annoys him. He walks into the pizzeria's bathroom, and all of a sudden we see the owner gets pissed off. He kicks Art the Clown out and throws his bag at him, and Art the Clown's just like shocked, making those type of faces. And then all of a sudden when the girls get back, the friend noticed that the blonde's car had a flat tire. Obviously, it was Art the Clown. The friend called her sister while they waited for her sister. She needed to go to the bathroom in this abandoned place. That was was deeply infected. And needed to be destroyed. But throughout the movie, once he had the blonde hanged up, he basically had her hanged up, but strip naked. Like you could see, like basically after he revealed her to her friend, he basically ripped off her panties, and the movie only showed the chest area, but he had like a hand, basically a hand hacksaw, and chopped her from basically the genitals, the female genitals, vagina / bullet, down to basically almost her complete face, because he at least stopped right here after her friend broke free, finally broke free, knocked him out, and ran away. Well, he wasn't completely knocked out, he was just down. Then he kind of played with her. He actually knew where she was. He just played around a little bit. Allowed her to watch and feel like she's safe, like any normal horror trope. And then he sneaks up behind her and starts getting her in the ankle. More later, after he teases her and after he gets her, he basically shoots her in the leg, like after she thinks she got him, like after he plays with her and thinks he has her, she gets him, and after she thinks she get him, and before she makes the final blow, he shoots her in the leg and the thigh, and then that's when she falls down. He shoots her not just in the chest, but once in the cheek, and that's when he runs out of bullets, runs back to it, kind of walks when you know he's like pissed. He instead of saying shit, fuck, he's saying in his head, and he's like angry, and we could tell by his movement, him waving his head, him moving his hands, walking back to his garbage bag, getting another magazine to put in the gun, and he shoots her in the forehead, in the eye, uses all the bullets again, and we meet this other woman that basically, instead of a cat lady, is more a homeless cat lady. It's more like a homeless, crazy mother, that basically thinks a Chinese glass doll is her actual baby. And for a minute, Art the Clown kind of plays with her a little bit, and then basically slowly have her slowly, painfully die after cutting off basically this portion of her chest, and I think her hair off, by putting it on and fooling the others, not the blonde friend, but the friend of the blonde sister, and as we already know, okay, the two friends that we first saw Art the Clown follow is not any of our survivor girls. The homeless lady is not our survivor girl. So who is our survival girl at this point? Well, and basically also Art the Clown had a male victim, had a male victim, which was like a rat killer person that was killing all the rats in the building, because at first Art the Clown thought he killed him by hitting him in the head with a hammer. Nope. He came back, knocked Art the Clown out, saved the girl, until Art the Clown got back up and killed a man by smashing his head in. And then, Art the Clown had like this jump rope, whip, but scissors and knives were like attached to it, and he used it to whip the girl, and it cut her almost everywhere, and then once we get to the almost close to the end of the movie, the final battle, When we thought the girl finally got away from the killer, nope. He still gets into the room because she thought she was saved by these doors that was chained up. But she was lucky squeezed through to get into the room away. When Art the Clown uses a truck to crash through those doors, and then knocking out the girl during the process, which could have killed her. And we see him jamming like the song that he's blaring in the truck. Then he gets out. He gets out and he looks at the girl. He licks the girl's blood off of her cheek, and then he starts eating her piece by piece. But also, as we get to see in the pizzeria, what he did in the bathroom is basically smeared shit. He smeared poop all over the walls, the toilet, and he wrote Art, which that's how he first got his name, Art the Clown, because he's basically a clown. Even though he doesn't talk, I guess not all clowns talk, I guess, which is a mime. But anyway, so Art the Clown, and also he killed the owner of the pizzeria by cutting off his head and making it, shaping the pizza owner's nose and eyes shaped as squares as a pumpkin, and put candles in the eyelids and nose, which scared the other worker that worked at the pizzeria, and then Art the Clown tortured him by cutting off like almost all his top 4 fingers, and then I think he got him in the eye, like the last blow was like through the eye or cheek or something. And then but the homeless lady, he had her baby, and she was freaking out, and before Art the Clown kind of took her breasts and hair, that basically she was trying to talk to him, where she was trying to get the baby back, and she asked him, begged him, asked him if he ever felt a mother's touch. She touched him, he started sucking his thumb, which by there you feel like he had a mother issue. Like, he has a mother issue. He has this complex, confusing relationship with a mom type thing. And then from there, jumping back to the truck scene, while we see him eating the girl's face, we see the cops finally arrived, and and before when the cops was saying, put your hands up, both of them, because he raised one, and they're like, and the other, before we shoot. If you don't, we'll shoot. And he's like rolling his eyes. He's like, come on, shoot me. Let's just get this over with. Just fucking shoot me. And then he pulls out, because then when he finally just had it, and he just started laughing, and pulls out a gun, turns around, boom, in his mouth, killing himself. And then one of the cops realized, oh shit, the girl is still alive. Then after they took basically the rat killer guy to the morgue with Art the Clown, we have a Michael Myers scene where the morgue guy just opens up the body bag. We see Art the Clown's one eye looking this way, because the girl that got her face eaten stabbed Art the Clown in one eye. So we see Art the Clown looking at the morgue guy this way, when we know, A, he's supposed to be dead after shooting himself through this way with a gun. And then all of a sudden, the lights flicker, we hear voices, like the homeless lady, and a few other voices, while the lights flicker and the phone starts ringing. And then all of a sudden, the lights stay on, stop flickering, they stay on, the phone stops ringing by itself. I'm actually creeping myself out. Anyway, all of a sudden, he looks back at Art the Clown, and he sits up and grabs the medic by the throat. And we basically know, okay, well, he's dead. Classic horror trope again. But the biggest twist, the biggest shock, the girl we met in the very beginning that killed the news reporter ended up being the girl that got her face eaten, that we followed halfway through the rest of the movie. That was our survivor girl. Because they show her face at the end the same way as we see that girl in the beginning, which ended up being the same chick, and her doctor that helped her through her depression because of the deformity, told her good luck with their interview tomorrow. And that's when the movie ends, by showing her face being deformed. And that was the biggest twist, alongside the biggest memorable kill, which is the blonde chick hanging upside down, stripped naked, getting handsaw halfway down. So is the first Terrifier movie a good movie? Yes. There are things to enjoy about the first Terrifier movie. Did I make it sound so terrible? A little. I mean, I did a little made it sound like a terrible horror movie, because it has a lot of classic jump scares, classic, you already know what's gonna come next, horror tropes, like in every horror movie. But by knowing the Ninth Circle and Hallows Eve, building up to the first Terrifier movie, you basically already know, okay, yeah, we already know who we're getting into, who we're kind of getting ourselves into, along with. But you also feel like if you watch the first Terrifier movie, you're watching a different type character of Art the Clown, a reborn type character that was reborn, brand new, polished. The director already knows where he's going, the character he's going to do, so it feels like it's being remade, but doesn't feel like a remake. And the only reason why I say watch the Ninth Circle you don't have to watch Hallows Eve, but it's a fun watch when you watch Hallows Eve after the Ninth Circle. But you could just watch the Ninth Circle and say fuck it to Hallows Eve if you don't want to waste the extra time, the funness that inch by inch you see more and more of random stories of Art the Clown. But the Ninth Circle, that's once again important, because as the director explained for this upcoming one, that Terrifier 3 kind of goes back around to, as a short scene in Terrifier 2 went back around to the Ninth Circle. So the Ninth Circle movie is important, even though after the first movie, he said it wasn't, but by the second movie and slash the third movie, it is. Because it helps explain Terrifier, Art the Clown, is that basically because how he can survive deep injuries, how he can cheat death because he is a demon and stuff like that. Anyway, I know this is a very long review. I'm sorry, and I basically explained the whole entire movie, and that's what made this review very long. I'm very sorry. But basically, yes, this Terrifier 1 alongside The Ninth Circle and Hallows Eve are 3 good movies to watch. Sure, The Ninth Circle feels like an original movie, even though there's no story plot to it. Well, kind of a story plot to it. Not really a big story plot. Like a normal slasher movie. Hallows Eve, once again, random stories, not really a complete main story. But Terrifier, the very first Terrifier, does it feel like a normal wannabe slasher movie? Yes. But it's a very good slasher movie to also start yourself out with before you get yourself into the second one, because if you just throw yourself into the second movie that actually has itself have a more better idea of what it's trying to be, than a little bit more what it's trying to be by itself to stand out along with the rest of the original classic horror characters that's out there, then it's more better to kind of, it's like school, kindergarten, the first, the Ninth Circle, second grade, Terrifier, third grade, Terrifier 2, fourth grade, Terrifier 3, even though I'm hearing that that the director likes to upgrade to outtake each kill, but anyway, drop a comment down below. What do you like at the Terrifier movies? Do you like where the director is heading with all 3 soon to be 4 Terrifier movies? Because I heard that there's a 4th one coming pretty soon, like the near future, hopefully by next year. Anything Terrifier, anything that the director is doing of the Terrifier movies, drop it in the comments down below. Also, drop a comment down below whatever you didn't like about me doing this movie review video. Please let me know in the comments down below. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like this video. Hit that like button if you did like this video. If you're a newcomer randomly dropping by one of my videos, please hit that subscribe button, because I welcome all new and old subscribers with open arms. If you're a original old subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you guys. Always keep coming back. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. Whenever you're watching this, peace.